Hey, my name's Adam. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm currently at the Nordschleife. And I thought this would be a fantastic place to introduce today's video. Unfortunately, it's raining. And just to show you what that looks like, this is currently what I can see. For anyone following the channel, you know that I recently picked up an 06 M5 V10 S85 based engine. Now those things, especially the early years, had issues with conrod bearings. If you're interested in learning more about the car, go back and check out some of the other videos. So they cover everything from the original PPI where we found thousands of dollars worth of issues.
That's that vibration.
Yeah.
So this whole arm stops the wheel from going like forward and back.
All the way through to a 3-month update and investing $10,000 in the platform. $9,500. So today's video is going to go through a complete time lapse from beginning to end, changing the connecting rod bearings, as well as a high pressure VANOS lines and another couple of while you're in there's. Looks like they're cleaning up the track ready for today's activities. Hopefully the rain stops.
I've got the dial gauge on one of the teeth, and it's got between 2 and 3 thou. So I've got it vertically as much as possible on the teeth, and you can see we're just over 2.5. So that's what I'm going for, and I wanted to do this before I took it off. So you can see where it is. It's about as close as vertical as I can get it. So for reference for later, it needs to come up this way. That's how you get it out. So it starts out over there. You need to twist it around to get... Okay, so hoping this comes out. So the measurement is basically between 2 and 3 thou, and I'll put the exact measurement on the screen. A lot of videos tell you to put the pin here, and I'll show you what happens if you do that. What I'm trying to do is get it as far around as possible because we're trying to measure the rotational slack. But here you can see I've got a recreatable 3 thou of travel. You can see what that means in terms of the actual cog itself, right? It's barely moving. It's almost imperceivable. Now, the challenge is it's all about how far round I can get it, because ideally I would be all the way up here because that would be the maximum movement. At the moment, I'm on an angle, so that's actually going to make a difference. But I'll show you what happens if you put it into the center. Okay, so here we are at the bottom of the cog. So you can see then that the pin is fitting in between two teeth. And if I measure it here, it's measuring less than 1 thou, which means I would increase the tolerance or actually move that gear further away to get more movement. Now the problem is you're not measuring rotational backlash. What we're measuring is how far that dial indicator, in this case here, is moving up and down the teeth when it moves from side to side. It's not a real measurement because the angle of this tooth and how far it moves will relate to how far this translates into a movement up and down. This isn't actually measuring anything in terms of the backlash. So this isn't the right tool for the job. So I'll show you the correct tool and exactly how that should be measured. So this is a tool that's actually shown in TIS, and it is a test indicator. What you can see is there's a little arm up there that basically moves from side to side, and based on how that's moving, so this arm here, based on how that moves from side to side, the actual dial itself will change. I'll do a close-up of another one. So here you can see, here's another example. I just thought I'd buy a couple of examples. So here you can see this tool, and there's the dial. But this arm here, as it moves from side to side, you can see the rotation in the needle itself. Idea being is it's measuring, in this case, the rotational backlash of that gear on the other gear. It's really important to be upright. Just set a little bit of pressure on that so the needle moved a tiny amount. So I knew it had some pressure. I just don't like being in the center. So from there then, you can come around here and you can see I've already zeroed it. You can read the backlash directly. So if I move the cog, you can see there that that's measuring just over 3.6 thou, which means it's too much. That meant my measurement around to the side using the other tool wasn't giving me an accurate reading. Now this can be within 2 thou to 3 thou, I think it is. Again, I'll put the measurements up here. And as you can see, I'm over that. So I now need to loosen these bolts and actually just reduce that backlash ever so slightly. Okay, so this is using the other gauge, which is in metric. It just helps to check the measurement. And as you can see, the gauge is pretty much zeroed. With it zeroed, it's moving 0.09 millimeters. And the allowable tolerance is 0.07 to 0.08. So this just confirms that both gauges are reading correctly, and we know we're just a fraction too much slack. Everything is now set, and if you look at the reading, so there's 0, it's exactly 2.5 thou. So I'm going to put the other one on and show you what that is in millimeters. So you can see there's 0 and it goes to 7, which is perfect. Exactly what we want. And it's just under 7 if you actually calculate it. So I trust the Mitsu Toyo a little bit more than this one. But the fact that they're both reading in the same ballpark and in the correct range is what it really matters.
So there it is. It's a mammoth job and not for the faint of heart. I really would recommend you pick up that oil pickup gasket, but I'll include a link below to the kit I used, which included most of the things I needed. Don't forget that after you do something like this, because you've disconnected that high pressure VANOS line, you need to bleed the VANOS system. I'll try and do another video about that at some point. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video, and if you have, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks, and have a great day.